Oh, I was gonna go do some night photography, but I'm just not up to it today. Haven't been for the past few days, battling a strong bout of man flu. I thought I'd go back to my photography roots and do some self-portraits for you guys. Let's get into it. When I started taking photography more seriously, I practice a lot on myself. It is a great way to practice. It's a great way to try out new things. You don't need to count on anyone but yourself. You don't need to arrange a model. You don't need to find a fancy location. And it really does help you speed up your learning, speed up the learning curve, because if you mess up, it doesn't matter. Just try again. And it's been a while since I last took any photos myself. The last time I did a lot of self-portraits was when I shot primarily with digital, but now since I primarily shoot with film, I thought, hey, this would be great. Why don't I try making self-portraits even more difficult and do it on film? But then I thought to myself, ooh, how can we make it even more difficult? Let's try using a flash. In this video, I'd show you guys how I made these self-portraits and also how to use a flash. I thought I'd make a bit of an effort and I threw on my best suit, and I just found some good lighting in the house. But before we get into that, I have to give you guys a little background story, because the images in these were greatly affected by quite a sad, tragic story really. I used two lenses basically for the shoot. I used the kit lens, the 50mm 1.8, which I have attached to my Canon A1, and I used is a 35mm f2 SEC. This is an amazing lens. This is one of my favorite lenses. I mean, it's not perfect, but I just love it. It's so versatile, and just the other day, someone hurt it. Someone you wouldn't expect. Because I expected this person to look after it and to not hurt my favorite lens. I mean, it's so annoying what happened. The rear lens cap got stuck to the lens, and I just couldn't remove it, so I sent it off to a very, very popular camera repair person to have it removed, and in the process he damaged the lens mount, so I sent it off to another very well-known repair shop here in London, and they fixed the lens mount. It works again, but now, as you'll see in the photos, the lens focuses in a really, really weird way. It sort of creates this really dreamy effect, I guess, if I'm gonna put a positive spin on it. I just don't think it's gonna be worth trying to get it fixed, because it's gonna be their word over mine. They're gonna not accept any responsibility. I'm pretty sure they're gonna say that, oh, the last guy probably did it, not us. Still wanna get into film? Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the self-portraits and what I did exactly. I had a few frames left on a roll of portrait image of some Kodak Pro Image 100, and because it is a 100 speed film, it was very slow. There wasn't that much ambient light in the house, which is why I then incorporated the flash, just to make sure that I was getting proper exposure. Things that you're going to need are a camera, of course. Your camera also needs a self timer. Usually at home, sometimes you don't have the best lighting. It also helps to have a flash, in which case your camera will have to have a hot shoe, which my Canon A1 does. If you want your flash to be off camera, you're going to need a trigger, and I've got the Godox X Pro for Fuji. I use this for my Fuji cameras, and the flash the one I have is a Godox V1. It is an incredible, versatile, super powerful, and really affordable, and you're going to need a tripod. It's very simple, guys. You're going to have some shots that you're going to miss focus on, but key is preparing and taking your time. The most important thing is to get the focus dialed in first. I will point the camera towards where I know I'm going to be standing, and I'll get my focus in. To make it easy on yourself, take a bunch of photos, take a few variations of poses, just so that you know that some of them will work. And then if you want to take it up even further, I got a backdrop. I think everyone should have a paper backdrop, fold away and store away really easily, and also a sort of a backdrop stand. Again, this folds away really compactly, and it'll fit into any sort of broom closet or whatever. Because I wanted some really nice, flattering, soft light, I mounted my V1, my flash, onto a C stand, and then I put a Godox softbox on top of it, just so that I can diffuse that light really nice and soft. So the first few shots I had the softbox and lamp set up exactly like I've got my video light set up here. So it was high up to my right at 2 o'clock and pointing down at me at 45 degrees. This lighting technique is called, what's it called? It's called a Rembrandt lighting technique. It just creates this nice triangle of light here, and it creates a nice little shadow here. It's very flattering and creates a nice jawline. The eyes are lit up. You get nice catch lights in the eye. It's just a very typical, very easy one light setup. To create more interest in it, I didn't want it just to be just me sitting in my normal clothes. I thought I'd jazz it up, make it more interesting by getting dressed up, putting on a nice, you know, one of my favorite blazers. You know, my girlfriend has this boater hat that she got whilst punting in Cambridge. I thought I'd throw that on, and there was just some flowers in the house. I thought, oh, this would go perfectly with the outfit. And then my poses were just very, whatever facial expression my face was in at the time, I sort of just held it. The lens is just, it's messed up. It's created like this weird dreamy effect. It wasn't what I wanted, basically. You know, they assured me that the lens worked perfectly fine, but yeah, clearly it doesn't. And then the second lighting setup I had directly in front of me. So I had it directly in front of me, in line with the camera, and I had it again pointing towards me at a 45-degree angle. This time I wanted to create more of shadow underneath. I had even coverage of light across my entire face. Again, it sort of isolates the face a bit more. So the first few frames, I realized that my focusing was just off. You know, a little bit of ingenious thinking on my part, I must say, was I got a measuring tape, measured the distance between the camera, the lens, and my face, and ensure that my face was in focus. And it was at this point where I decided to switch up to the 50mm lens, and I'm so glad I did, because at least then, you know, I actually got some shots that came out really nicely, came out in focus and exactly, you know, what I had in mind. Obviously, there are limitations to doing self-portraits on film. It's really hard to see where you are in the frame. Of course, it's just all a bunch of guesswork at the end of the day. Yeah, the 50mm ones came out really, really nicely. I was actually quite surprised. But by the end of it, I was quite exhausted. And I thought I'd, you know, instead of pretending to be like I was fresh as a daisy, I thought I'd let my exhaustion and my sort of, you know, setting up the lights and everything, it was quite a bit of work at moving that couch out of the way and going back and forth between the camera. I was actually a bit sweaty by the end of it, but I thought I'd let those expressions show in the photos. I didn't hide away from that. I thought it actually added to the self-portrait a bit. So now that I've shown the photos, I want to show you guys how to use flash with a film camera. You need a camera that has a hot shoe mat, as I said, a flash obviously, and then you're going to need a trigger, and also vitally is that you'll need a light meter. You can't use TTL, you have to use manual. But don't worry guys, don't freak out, it's not difficult at all. And this is another reason as to why you should get a flash. It just adds another tool. God, I'm gonna sneeze. It just adds another thing to your art. I definitely recommend getting this flash because it's so versatile, it's so powerful, and it gives you so many different looks, and it gets you. I'm not sponsored by Godox. I wish I was, because I absolutely love this flash. And then if you want that really soft look, soft light, then you can get a modifier for it and all that. But anyway, every camera has this flash sync speed, and for the Canon A1 it is 1/60th of a second, and you can see you can tell that it is because there's a little lightning bolt next to the 60. You set the camera to the flash sync speed. There you go. You dial in the ISO for your film, and there are different modes on the light meter. You want to pick the flash mode. You'll know that's on the flash mode because you'll see the flash icon is circled. So the only thing that you'll need to know is basically what aperture to have it at. You turn on your flash, you turn on your trigger, make sure that your trigger and your flash are communicating. So I'm just going to press the test on the trigger, they're communicating. You press the button on the side, the flash mode is flickering. That's because it's now waiting for you to test your flash. So I've already set the composition and I've got my light meter next to my camera. I set it off, so there you go. So it's giving me, and now it's giving me a reading of f4. So all I do is set my aperture to f4. Now I know that I'm gonna get a proper exposure. So now I've dialed in my settings, the lights are where I want them, I have the camera on self timer, 10 seconds, everything's dialed in. All I do now is I press the button, I run over to where I want to be, and there you go. And don't worry about which flash to get. As far as I'm aware, any modern flash will work with your film camera, so long as your film camera has a hot shoe. And even if it doesn't have a hot shoe, it should have a PC sync cable port, so you can plug in your, you will still be able to do it if you have a PC cable. I would definitely recommend getting a flash. It unlocks a whole different world of photography, a whole different lighting techniques, and it's just, oh, I just love the look of really soft light for portraits. I hope I explained how to use a flash in clear enough terms. Sorry about my voice. This video's been all over the place. I'm just seriously fighting. Anyway guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like the video, share this with your mom, share this with your dad. Which one of those photos were your favorite? As I've said on this channel many times before, the main goal this year is to hit 10,000 subs. If you want to be part of whatever this is from the very beginning, then do hit that subscribe button. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I do plan on doing a big giveaway. I want to give away a camera of some sort. If that sounds like something you're into, then hit that subscribe button. I've got another collab coming up, potentially buying a new camera tomorrow. So yeah, you got that one to look forward to. Follow me on Instagram at Zain Shoots Film. Check out my portfolio at zainreason.com. Keep learning, keep shooting, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.